In the course of our human society, what is there that we love more than entertainment? I sure love entertainment. We all do, really. In the course of our meaningless existence, the one thing that can take our attention away from our inevitable deaths is the media we shove down our widely expanding pie holes. I personally don't like to take part in the action like a video game unless it's Telltale, so I prefer to watch TV and movies. I love everything about movies. The care put into them, the directing, the acting, the soundtrack, which is usually just the director's iPhone playlist now. All the people involved put so much effort into their work. If I could point out a very small thing though, minor issue at best. How do I put this? I don't like to pay for media. Why should I? They haven't done anything for me. Most people are understanding with this sentiment and will just go on working for my eternal amusement with no issue of slavehood. But some special snowflakes just have to be dicks. They bring up their own little counter arguments like the slaves from the 1800s trying to justify their actions like, I have a family. I'm defaulting on my mortgage. I haven't eaten in 6 weeks. I've literally just been shot but can't pay the health care. Thanks, Obama. And when they get like that, the best suitable treatment is most likely violence, preferably a swift thwack of the hand to either the face or balls, followed by a good fuck you! Grown-up semi-classic style. But of course, they're not going to help you, so you're just gonna have to do it yourself. Goddamn money-hungry whores, making me have to go and watch movie clips in 720p like some kind of animal. And at least I'll always have the internet. Cable's basically dead anyway. This is all out. Shit. First the bastards who made the content wanted to get a handout, now someone who gave a low-quality rip on YouTube wants my hard-earned schmeckles. Fuck that, you don't even do anything, you prick. How are you even able to put this on YouTube, let alone monetize it with the content ID, taking down shit like my video for using the footage transformatively? What the hell, these stolen videos have millions of views. Why is YouTube turning a blind eye? Short answer, I don't know. Long answer, I'll have to go back to YouTube's humble beginnings as a small site in 2006 with just a guy talking about his day at the zoo. Back in the old-timey year of 2006, YouTube was still small. Not many people knew as much about it. Almost none of the current heavy hitters were even close to being around. Some weren't even born yet. It was a different time. For instance, anime was nowhere near as prevalent in the US. Streaming services were non-existent. For example, when was the last time you ordered a movie from Netflix to be sent to your house? Yeah, that's how we did in 2008, and it was pretty much hell. Have fun paying for that overdue late fee. With anime, no one wanted to dub that. Not without heavy censorship from American networks. Everyone born between the years of 1998 through 2004 remembers something from 4Kids, right? The single company known for dubbing over and ruining several well-beloved anime. But again, that was all anyone had at that point. No DVDs could be bought, no airings on TV. Your best shot was going to Japan with a region-free DVD player and learning enough Japanese to translate it yourself. The environment we had was ripe for pirating. Illegal sites have become all too well known in the public zeitgeist now, but back then, people had to use YouTube and post 6-minute segments with amateur subtitles. There was no alternative if you wanted a full version uncensored. That was a start, but after we reached that regrettable milestone, we just needed to go the full mile. Instead of uploading media from a foreign country that we can't get, why don't we also take clips from American shows and post it to YouTube? What could possibly go wrong? Oh, no. To be honest, guys, we should have seen this coming. The site was basically becoming a loophole for pirated clips. Yeah, in 2007, Viacom sued YouTube for all the clips of their shows up on it, saying everything was unintentionally stolen and that YouTube owed $1 billion in damages. YouTube was able to counter this by going through their data to find Viacom employees intentionally uploading and roughing up the quality of their own shows to get more attention for the networks. Ironically, this is the exact thing Viacom accused YouTube of doing to get traffic to their site. The judge of the case ruled in favor of YouTube because they couldn't police every video on the site, and trying to would go against the principles of the DMCA. Viacom eventually backed off and YouTube was home free. Or was it? Though YouTube definitely won the case and proved they were innocent in the whole affair, Viacom did have a point in the amount of illegal content on YouTube. To try and cover for this and not get into any more legal trouble, YouTube implemented much stronger rules against copyright and really brought the ban hammer down on all of us. Nowadays, it's all too well known how idiotic the claiming system is, how easily abusable it is to claimants, and when fighting a copyright case, you'll usually get a robot with nearly the same intelligence as playing from Ed, Edd n Eddy. Despite all of this, many clips, full episodes, and even series streams are shown with little to no interference whatsoever. It's basically its own community at this point, insert reactionist joke here. And with any community, specific sections exist for specific types of, I would say creators, but these people don't create anything, so I don't know, distributors, the kind you find behind a bridge selling bootlegs. Some people kinda care when they're doing what I must extensively call illegal, but every community has those type of people. It just so happens this community is mostly made up of those people. I've cleared them up into 5 categories representing them and what they do for the community. I also have a 6th category, but that's a surprise for later. With that out of the way, let's take a peek at the YouTube equivalent to the Tumblr kleptomaniac group. Our first step on this journey is the old timer. These are accounts with little to no videos other than the clips or other short miscellaneous videos. The video is usually from 8 to 11 years ago, has no description, and at most has 500k. Since YouTube TV peddlers used to have more of a sense of humor, these specific videos are usually short, random, or contain some kind of punchline to a joke in the title. Profile pictures will be all the classic blank person on blank background, or if we get to be a bit more modern, the letter. Sub counts vary, more popular videos can have channels with more subscribers, but that isn't always the case. Old timers aren't really hurting anyone or trying to make a profit, they just saw a 30-second clip and wanted to show it to others because it's funny out of context. They were around during a different period of YouTube and are at this point sort of a part of the history of YouTube we couldn't live without. Then there's the modern equivalent of these guys, the who gives a fuckers. They post compilations of different animes and such to drag people in before hitting them with 3 mid-roll ads. They don't care about the series they're showing to others, they care about the dough, the cash. They also only post 1 or 2 videos, but they get millions on average and become the top search result because life is unfair to those who care. They're like robots. They look for the kind of media like an intro to a popular show, something many would want to see by itself, and then pack it with the other openings in the same show, or add openings from similar shows to create a longer runtime and pack in tons more ads. I don't have the screenshot to prove it, but some of these guys comment words of thanks when fans in the comments say they like the song as if they own it. Shameless. There are worse versions of these guys, but I'll get into them later. My personal favorite of these groups is a mass I like to call the fanboys. Fanboys are the kind of people who care about whatever it is they're uploading. They never decide to put ads on their videos. Instead, they tend to only post when they can't find it anywhere else on the internet and they want other fans to be able to see it. They are still doing something illegal and I can't condone them for doing what they did, but they're much more innocent and noble than the who gives a fuckers. Like, look at this description for a Full Metal Alchemist opening. I'm uploading this video here because I can't find this opening in high quality of video and sound anymore, so this is for anyone who wants to listen to this great song. No cryptic bullshit, they take the time to write a description, all transparency, nice. I could hang out with this person. Again, I stress this is more than anything. Do not steal content from YouTube. Consequences will ensue, but you gotta respect them somewhat, especially in comparison to the who gives a fuckers descriptions, which is usually nothing, but sometimes they put, it belongs to respective owners, and I'm still gonna put ads on it, but because I would say that it is actually not mine, it makes it alright. It's all okay, guys. If you want to watch clips of TV or movies on YouTube without the guilty feeling of copyright infringement, you can watch official channels. Remember when I said Viacom wanted to sue YouTube for having their clips on YouTube's site to gain traction? Well, hello irony and hypocrisy, thy name is Viacom. With TV dying as a platform, Viacom and other companies are sort of forced to use YouTube, the current biggest platform for exposure, to give themselves more traction. Isn't it funny how the high school asshole always ends up being the janitor to your big corporation? Leaving out the hilarious scenario, these channels are now the only way to watch videos without it being an illegal upload of content. Official channels are also the kind of channel that play content that if you play for 7 seconds, you'll get a copyright strike for, because YouTube likes to go on autopilot every other minute. I find these channels fine, but they suffer from not having enough. What I mean by that is there are plenty of channels for TV networks and sometimes shows, but there are never any clips for old shows that weren't that popular. I don't even mean like the 70s, I'm thinking about 90s shows that people even actually really liked, like Recess or Chalk Zone, shows tons of people have nostalgia for, but I can't seem to get on DVD or Blu-ray. Since these studios, for whatever reason, decide to keep their properties locked up, we're forced to post on YouTube or other sites just so people can still experience it. While I hate to admit it, I never would have been able to find out about Recess if I hadn't looked at some of those episode blocks where the footage is sped up. Studios tend to think that every person who posts clips on YouTube is in it for the money. Studio Ghibli. But there are the old-timers who just want to use nostalgia and random clips to be funny, and there are the fanboys who want nothing more than to give the option for more people to be able to enjoy something that they themselves love. I'm now going to make others think I'm contradicting myself by talking about the exact scum the studios think all channels are when I'm really showing the yin to every yang, so shut the fuck up in the comments. I read all of them and you're not going to escape my wrath. laugh. And the last group is one I like to call the original namers. I call them this because they don't care about whatever it is they post, so why should I give a fuck about whatever bullshit they might want to be called? It's pretty easy to spot an original namer. A banner consists of either JPEGs or PNGs of cartoon/anime characters, 5 ads per every barely 10-minute video, videos made smaller or sped up on a background to avoid copyright infringement, unauthorized full series streams, and names. Always look at the name of the channel that posts that Family Guy clip. At your most hopeful best, the name is one of the characters from the show they've decided to build their channel around, but most of the time their name is Funny Videos Me Make, iReal.org, and other shit you'd expect to find on creepy toy review channels. Corporate channels are on an entirely different level from these fuckers. They have no integrity whatsoever. And what's even worse is how some support them. Why? What have they done to deserve any respect, let alone support? Just buy the property on Blu-ray or watch it on a streaming service. Don't support those who take easily available clips and make that all they do.
Gee, getting popular on YouTube has never been easier. You're saying all I need to do is create an entire channel around a property people already love and they'll come in by the thousands? What a fucking steal!
Nope, don't think that way. Don't get messed up in their game. You want to know how much these guys don't care? They post anime OPs already officially put on YouTube, but shrink it to not get a strike. Why even upload it? Who's gonna watch? Apparently several thousand.
And I'm running out of excuses to defend the masses who like to watch this shit.
Could you imagine trying to talk to the runners of these channels? Because I think they'd be the most uninteresting people in the world. I clearly show I dislike Velskabum's content, but he appears to have some facet of interest in something. And believe it or not, I know I keep going down and saying how bad a specific group is and how much worse they are than the last, but this last one that I'm about to talk about, I swear, is the worst group of them all. I'm not trying to exaggerate. I fucking hate this group more than the reactionists, prank channels, toy review channels, and even the original namers. They're called, "Hey dude, I just read this comic. Okay, now pay me for fucking reading it to you." The crazy idiots who decide to watch this content once and think, yeah, that was fun, but I don't want to watch any more of it. Sorry, but you'd be in for a long ride unless you delete your entire history. I watched one of these videos and I couldn't escape them, and even if I find a way, they appear again somewhere I'm not expecting. Right now you're probably thinking,
Just stop, you fucking fellow ass-face. What's the reason to hate these perfectly fine people who make perfectly fine content?
yeah, I'm getting to that. Be patient. I need to vent a little. Unlike the fanboys or the original namers or the old timers, I'm unable to find a single reason these channels should exist. All the comics they show are entirely free and easy to find online. They are exactly the same as the average horror story channel, and you know how I feel about most of those. No, my mistake. They're worse. Horror story channels take the time to read the stories they get from others, or at least make their own sometimes. The "hey dude, I just read this comic, pay me for reading it" puts the same stock music in every video, and I've learned to hate it. Half the time, the guys who edited the slideshows together don't even mention the artist involved. They have stolen art from independent artists. That's even worse than stealing from a big company. Well, on the moral side. On the legal side, you'd be more likely to get away with stealing from a Tumblr artist, whom can only be considered as the Screen Rant and Watch mojo of this community, are World Illustrations and Mini Viral, whom, despite obviously marketing themselves to children, they have the gall to have half of their feed free be sexual humor with incredibly sexualized thumbnails. And do not tell me they can upload whatever they want because they didn't choose their audience. Really, they bring in kids with a welcoming funny thumbnail and smiling mascot, then boom! Time to learn about the real world, children! To be clear, the comparison to Screen Rant and Watch Mojo is a compliment. Those two are huge super forces on YouTube, able to pump out videos at a Gatling pace. World Illustrations can barely fit half that bill. They're a cheap alternative you buy at the dollar store when you have nothing else to buy. I'll bring up the same point I originally brought up in my horror story channel video. Why can readers not go through the comic without a video? Horror story channels tried to get some sort of reaction out of you at least. They had several low hangers, but they gave the slightest of a shit about ambience even if you can make it yourself much better. Mini Viral's videos add nothing to the experience. For me, if anything, all they do is make the product feel worse. The terrible generic stop music, the abysmal titles and thumbnails, the iMovie tier editing, nothing works in their favor. Overall, the message I'm trying to convey through this video is try and not steal. You might think you're just in uploading something unavailable in every other area, and you kinda are since companies decide to keep their products hidden for whatever reason. Don't upload clips or entire episodes of shows available on almost every platform. All you're doing is infringing on companies and nothing else. All of you who believe it's fine to take clips that aren't yours and then somehow monetize them to capitalize off the hard work of animators who spend months creating and honing their craft, Fuck you. You know what you're doing. You aren't doing a service, you're being greedy and should stop. My other purpose for this video was explaining why we got so comfortable with clips across YouTube and don't seem to give a shit. We've all watched clips on YouTube, whether it be official or not. It's impossible to say you haven't watched it and will continue to not. Hell, I'll do it at some point because it's so well integrated into YouTube society. It's almost a foundation next to Lego stop motions and a bridge series. It's hard to see YouTube without them, so what am I trying to say here? Kinda giving mixed signals, I know. To sum it up, for the most part, stealing content is incredibly scummy and people shouldn't do it, but since YouTube doesn't and hasn't done much to stop it, we will continue to watch it without fail because it's so important to us. I know many people only use YouTube for looking at clips. I don't have anything against you. I find some of the viewers of lower quality clips lacking a few brain cells, but I don't blame you for watching it. I can only really even half blame the creators for putting it up. They weren't stopped and therefore they didn't, leading them to higher and higher stunts. The only people we can really blame for the full state of the community are the incredibly dumb studios who take down everything they shouldn't be and don't take down what they should. YouTube is easy to blame, but they aren't the full reason for all this passing through. YouTube is the reason for innocent channels having a hard time appealing false claims, but they don't make the claims to begin with. They've created a system, while incredibly messed up in most areas, to allow studios to take down videos infringing on content, yet they take down the wrong shit and leave everything else up. Sometimes the clips are caught, but most times it seems to be able to seep through the thin capture sag, though I don't expect YouTube to completely change this, and I'm not even sure if some wanted to. I at the very least want to give some discussion to the matter since I find it important, if not an accepted issue. Alright, see ya. Talk about shit.